Hello and good evening and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Thursday evening, joining you a little later than normal, right at 6 o'clock on this Thursday evening as we set up for the weekend. Just had a very loud blip on the other computer. But anyway, so glad that you're a part of this evening's forecast. It's a pretty quiet evening. We have some small tweaks, but the main headline is obviously still the colder air that moves in early next week. Check the infrared satellite this evening. Obviously, the sun sets, so we can't use the visible satellite, so we look at the infrared instead. And a special shout out to my friends at Ruston Elementary School. Got to visit with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders this morning. So if your Ruston Elementary School student comes home and they talk about the crazy guy who jumped around and screamed about the weather for 30 minutes, that was me. 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, you got to keep their interest, so you got to jump around every now and then. Mr. Greg, hello and thanks for joining, and I believe happy birthday is in order to you as well, so hope you are enjoying your day. Again, infrared satellite doesn't show much. We have some cloud cover across the southern parishes, but it's been a beautiful day across the region. It's setting up for a fairly decent weekend, but there's a lot of change in store. Check of the radar made possible by Browns Roofing, brownsroofingla.com. Shows the surge of moisture along the Gulf coastline, and that will be noticeable as we go through the morning hours tomorrow. It sets us up for some more cloud cover, mostly cloudy skies to start your Friday, and we could still see some areas with some patchy fog tomorrow as well. Check out temperatures at the 6 o'clock hour, and again, most of us still hovering near 70 degrees. Full disclosure, after I visited with the Ruston Elementary School students today, went out and played at the For the Players golf tournament, the Dylan Scott Invitational out at Frenchman's Bend. Thanks to Big Shot Bob for inviting me to be a part of his team. If you're asking me, did we win? If you ever ask me the question, did we win a golf tournament, the answer is 99.8% of the time no, but we had fun. Did I make some decent shots? Yes. Did I make some embarrassing ones? Yes. Did I lose some golf balls? Pfft, absolutely. So that's where we were this afternoon. So that's why we didn't have a midday forecast. May good evening to you. Joining you this evening, there are some tweaks to the severe weather forecast. We'll get to those in just a minute. Again, there's a look at temperatures. Dew points are on the climb as the low-level moisture starts to stream back in, and it sets the stage for some small rain chances this weekend, maybe a few thunderstorms along the way. We'll keep an eye on that through the weekend as well. Wind speeds are fairly light. They've been breezy at times this afternoon, but obviously as the sun sets and the air cools a little bit, the atmosphere just in general kind of quiets down. And so while those winds are out of the south, they are fairly light this evening. Check the drought monitor just in case you did not see it this morning. It obviously has some drier conditions expanding out across the region. We do have some moderate drought conditions sneaking back in or expanding across southeastern Arkansas and into portions of the Mississippi Valley. It does not include any of our western Mississippi counties yet. If we don't see any rain this week, which I really don't expect us to see much, obviously the drought conditions are likely to expand. And good evening to you as well. A check of visibility overnight. Of course, visibility and your Futurecast products are made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. Again, low-level moisture surges in, low clouds along with it. Maybe some patchy dense fog like we ran into this morning. The best chances will be along and south of I-20 to start the day. Could run into the same general scenario as we go into Saturday morning. Again, best chances will be in river valleys and for areas along and south of I-20. Again, we'll keep an eye on it. Not expected to be a widespread concern. Speaking of Futurecast, let's go over to just the general clouds, rain forecast as we go through the next few days. Yes, Paul, I am working for myself. And it's kind of fun. Ethel, good evening to you as well. Thanks so much for joining. Again, by midday tomorrow, we'll look for sunshine and daytime highs back in the upper end of the 70s to low 80s. As we work deeper into the weekend, cold front arrives late Saturday afternoon. Still looking for low to mid 80s for highs. Well, I say low to mid 80s, more low 80s, 80 to 83 in a lot of locations across the region. Probably the warmest day of the week. And then the colder air arrives this week on Sunday. Sunday around midday, you can see that cloud line there. There will be the opportunity early in the day to maybe scour out a few thunderstorms, but that cloud line is associated with kind of a reinforcing shot of cooler air that punches into the region, and that's the coldest air that sets us up for the early parts of next week. I know as you look at this, you're going to see a lot of areas dip into the mid to upper 20s. This is one computer model's take. I liked how it handled the rain chances and the cloud cover and the temperatures going into the weekend. I do not like how it handles temperatures going into Monday morning. So if you see those numbers and you kind of freak a little bit, don't, because I don't expect us to get that cold. Again, when I show you these types of products, sometimes part of it is favorable to show you, but I have to kind of throw out the fine print here and there because it also does not get us out of the 40s on Monday, and I think that's a little far-fetched as well. But there are obviously some changes in store in the forecast early parts of next week. Sheila, Carolyn, good evening to you. Jan, will the freeze get down to Winnsboro on Monday? Monday may be a tough call. I think areas south of I-20 will hover close to and just above freezing on Monday. I think frost will be a possibility for some of you areas on Monday, but it really also depends on the winds. So, again, it's still kind of far out between now and then. We'll kind of tackle that as we go into Monday morning. I would say it's a possibility, and I would plan for the potential of a light freeze in some of those areas. But I think Tuesday morning is your bigger hazard. The severe weather threat for tomorrow, remember we were talking about the marginal risk along the Mississippi Valley. That's been shoved farther eastward, so no real severe threat tomorrow in our area. Could maybe see a stray shower or storm along the Mississippi Valley. But in the same general how'd that get there scenario, we do have a marginal risk out for Saturday. And again, we have a cold front, pretty strong front moving through the region. There will be the opportunity with the warm, humid air to maybe scour out an isolated shower or thunderstorm. This is the same graphic. It's just zoomed in a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Of course, your severe weather and products and alerts are made possible by Allegiance Health Network, providing high-quality, patient-centered care through clinically integrated networks of healthcare professionals. And I drove by Allegiance Healthcare Clinic earlier today in Ruston while I went to visit the kiddos at Ruston Elementary School. So obviously, the marginal risk expands out for the vast majority of the area. Hail and wind would be our biggest concerns. We don't expect it to be a widespread issue. It will likely be a fairly brief issue. Now, that said, it covers a large area. So you're saying, how can it not be a widespread issue when it covers almost the entire area? It's still a pretty isolated storm threat nonetheless. We'll keep an eye on it as we go into the day on Saturday. I'll keep you updated on it tomorrow as well. I do expect some changes to this marginal risk area. Again, there's a lot of question marks regarding how this front kind of interacts with the environment in place. It's warm, it's humid, and the front and the boundary is strong, but a lot of the computer models are not really hinting at a lot of thunderstorm activity, and a lot of that has to do with just some of the other limited ingredients that we have in place. Onethia, good evening to you. I hope you said you hope the kids enjoyed my visit. I think they did. I think I like to think that I have the pulse of the elementary school kids, and the reason I say that is because I kind of act like an elementary school kid in many instances. But we had fun. We learned some stuff about hurricanes and severe weather and severe weather safety and tornado drills and things like that. And I really enjoy being around the kiddos because they ask great questions and they have a different perspective on things. So we had a lot of fun. Lows tonight, low 60s, more patchy fog, a possibility. The clouds will pick up toward daybreak. Winds will be out of the south. Daytime highs tomorrow land generally in the low end of the 80s. As I show you the overnight lows, again, we talk about low temperatures, and there's kind of been some question marks in terms of how that's displayed on the app. A few folks have reached out to me. Again, I want to remind folks that your low temperature for tonight is really tomorrow morning. So it is a nighttime temperature, an overnight low. But again, most of those low temperatures are usually met the next morning prior to sunrise. Again, just wanted to throw that out there. Low 80s for highs tomorrow. 79, 80 is a possibility. 83 is a possibility as well. So obviously most of us will land somewhere in between. A spotty storm can't be ruled out, especially along the Mississippi Valley. Depending on where you visit the app from, along the Mississippi Valley, those rain chances tomorrow are up to 20%. The vast majority of our area are running about 10% rain chances through the day tomorrow. Look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. Again, rain chances, depending on location, are generally in the 10 to 20% range on Saturday, but trending cooler and breezy for Sunday. Highs in the mid-50s Monday. Some of us may struggle to even get into the mid-50s. Morning lows will be in the low to mid-30s. Freezing mark is possible on Monday, likely on Tuesday, across the entire area. Geraldine, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for your kind words as well. It's a quick warm-up. We're back into the low 70s by Wednesday, Thursday. Morning lows climb from the 30s to the 40s to the 50s. So, again, it's a pretty sharp change through the middle and end parts of next week. That's a look at your forecast for this evening. Obviously, I'll join you first thing tomorrow morning. Your fishing game comes out in just a little bit. I'll join you first thing tomorrow morning as we kind of tackle this isolated storm threat into the weekend, and we also continue to keep an eye on the near-freezing temperatures for early next week. Aside from that, the rain chances are pretty limited. So drought conditions and the prolonged dry drought conditions are continuing to be a little bit of a concern. Not a huge concern, but we need a pattern change. And that does not look to happen over the next week to week and a half. I think that's about it. That covers it. Again, your fishing game comes out a little bit later this evening. I'll join you first thing tomorrow morning. And thank you so much. As always, the forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com. The app's available for Apple and Android users as well, so be sure to stop by and download that. Customize your alerts. Obviously, as the weather gets a little bit more active going into the fall and winter months. Severe weather season's right around the corner. Cold weather season's right around the corner as well, but enjoy the quiet conditions while they last. I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for stopping by the digital weather desk powered by Century Next Bank. If you're here, I'm glad you're here, and if this is your first time, thumbs up to you. And we'll join you first thing tomorrow morning. Stay up and alert to the weekend forecast. We'll keep an eye on things. Not expected to be a big hazard, but we are trending cooler. So again, morning lows, near freezing, early parts of next week. Be aware of that. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning.